Detroit Pistons at home on a Sunday. Can the Bulls get their revenge game against a Detroit Pistons team that is missing about 5 key rotational pieces to their team? We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? It's game day. As you already know what that means, Chicago Bulls are facing off against the Detroit Pistons today. And listen, we don't know exactly what's going on with Alex Caruso, if he's going to play or not. But regardless of, considering how depleted the Detroit Pistons roster is right now, you guys know I don't typically come in predicting wins or losses for the Chicago Bulls, but the Bulls better goddamn well be able to get a dub today. Jalen Duren's out, so that means that Nikola Vucevic should be able to cook, right? Let's hope that that's the case. They're also missing Bogdanovic, which is a big player as far as stretching the floor for that team. Jaden Ivey's also missing time. So the Bulls should be able to get a dub today. They should be able to get a dub. I'm not going to say it's easy because, again, we know that this team has not played with a consistent level of energy and effort, but the team should be able to take care of business. Definitely should be able to take care of business. And let's hope that ends up being the case when it comes down to it. But yeah, let's see what else. Let's see how you guys are feeling about this. Shay's in the building. He says, I'm expecting Zach LaVine to have a big night tonight because he always does against the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, I mean, some of his biggest games are always against the Detroit Pistons. Today could be the start of a new beginning. Who knows? But I most definitely think we could win tonight. But will we? Yeah, I mean, listen, the Detroit Pistons are missing half their goddamn rotation, right? So the Bulls better, if the Bulls don't get a dub today, y'all better be tuned in for the post-game show because it's going to be a doozy because I'm going to go clean the fuck off if the Bulls can't get a dub. They are missing Jalen Duren, Joe Harris, who's already been out. Monte Morris is out. Bogdanovic is out. Jaden Ivey is questionable, so we'll end up seeing if he ends up playing or not. So, we'll see what happens with that. But listen, Bulls better goddamn well get a dub today, man. Alex Burks is also questionable. Listen, Bulls need to be able to get a dub, bro. Game time, for what it's worth. Cade is a beast. I have been watching him since the summer and currently 23-8. His IQ is great and would have 10 assists if they can hit shots. Yeah, but we've guarded Cade Cunningham pretty well, right? And not in last game. I think he went off kind of more so towards the second half of that game, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. But we'll see, man. We'll see. We definitely have the defenders to throw at him for the full game, right? John says, I just want to win. Hey, man, you and me both, brother. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Just get a dub. That's where I was at with the Bears, too. We better come out with some energy. We've had a couple of days off, and we should not be tired for no damn reason. Yeah, we've had a couple of days off, and we're at home, right? So the Bulls' schedule right now is they play a lot at home, right? They have the one game against the Milwaukee Bucks where they go out and they come back home for another few games. They need to be able to take care of business today, man. They just need to be able to take care of business. So let's see if that ends up being the case. Yo, what's up? Sorry I haven't been watching recently. Lots of stuff going on, but glad to be back, and we'll be able to sit down and enjoy finally. Definitely. And hopefully you get to enjoy a dub, man, when it's all said and done. Let's hope that that's the case. By the way, we dropped our first video for the G League on this channel today. It's doing pretty good. I don't expect it to do like numbers of a normal daily episode by any stretch of the imagination, but listen, for those that want that content, it's there. Not a lot of people are delivering G League content consistently. So if you want to know how our G League team's doing, especially like players like Ernalot Bidum and Dama Sinago who are down there, make sure you guys check that out. We've been bringing that fire. So there you go on that one. Markel says, Haize, bro, you saved me. I didn't even know there was a game today. That's crazy. I don't understand how y'all don't know. Listen, I have the Bulls calendar synced to my calendar, so I always know when Bulls games are. Anthony Vargas says, what's up, man? Go Bulls. Absolutely, Lord. Let's hope we get a goddamn dub today, right? The all white, thank you, young Bino. Listen, it's clean. I'm clean as a motherfucker. I had to put on my Sunday's best now. But this is a clean. This is clean. I like this. It's a pro standard hoodie, so that means it's made like this is some of the best material you'll get. They had a zip up one that I wanted more than this one, but I guess they're not doing the zip up one anymore. Sucks. It is what it is, though. We'll do the pullover. It's cool. Shalanta Way says, bro, keep up the good work. Appreciate you on that one. I'm going to try my best. Hopefully you guys keep appreciating it. D-Dubs in the building says, yo, Haize, I like to think that we should get this W, but there are no easy games for us so far this season. Listen, right along with you on that one, bro. Right along with you on that one. I love if they lose tonight, I'm going king of the petty with you. Listen, I don't know if too many people can go to the levels of petty that I go to, but I'll be glad to welcome you into Pettyville, my brother. I guarantee you, if Alex Caruso was starting Kay Cunningham, is that his mama? You saying that Alex Caruso would smash Kay Cunningham's mama? Is that what we saying, Shay? But would have a bad game. Listen, I mean, we'll see. It is what it is. How's Alex Caruso? He's playing. I don't think we have an update on it as of right now. Let me check my Palm Pilot for those that understand that reference. The fact that movie's almost 20 years old is crazy, by the way. That's crazy. But I don't see any updates yet on Alex Caruso. Yep, nothing since yesterday. So we'll see. Humble Servant says, Haize, I love the Windy City Bulls weekly review. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, I always say we're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. So that means we got to be all encompassing, right? So there's no way I'm doing post-game shows for a G League game. There'll be like 5 people in it, but I will be bringing those. And I feel like I found a good flow in it, right? Recap the games that happened, which was only 2 games. So I got to recap those 2 games. And then I went to my takeaways of some of the best performances from it and how that directly correlates potentially if they were in the NBA. So I think, of course, it's in a stage of evolution, right? Only 1 episode so far, so it's going to continually evolve over time for sure. But I really do like kind of the flow that I found myself with it. I had to crack it, right? Everything that I do, I have to make sure that it comes from its own unique angle. And so I feel like I cracked a good angle to cover G League games because generally people don't care about the G League. Let's just be clear and be 100% real in this. People generally don't give 2 craps about the G League, and I understand why. But hopefully, I'll put a nice little spin on it, and it'll be there for anybody who wants to get that info. Love you, bro, and God bless. Thank you, Mr. Way. I appreciate you, man. Or woman. I listen. I don't mean to misgender anybody. The Pistons will be playing against the Bulls on a 7-game losing streak. I wouldn't be surprised, but would still be very angry the losing streak ends against the Bulls tonight. Well, considering the players they're missing in the rotation, I really hope that it doesn't end today against the Bulls. But let's see. Your review of the Windy City Bulls was awesome. Keep up the work and being a pioneer. Well, I appreciate that, fam. Definitely appreciate that. Bro, you be fresh as hell. Listen, there ain't too many people that can match the swag. That's all I can say. When it comes to Bulls gear, there's like 1% of 1% of 1% of the population that can match the way that I have this gear. Like it's not too many people doing it like me. Do y'all see? You see the 6 titles? You can't see the other one. Hold on. Where's my headphones at? You see that? Ain't so many people doing it. It's right here too. Come on, man. 6-time NBA Finals champions. Well, until we get number 7, man, it's the hottest gear out right now, bro. It's the hottest gear out right now. When we stop playing. Robert says, loving the hoodie, Haize. What's up, Bulls for life, Rob? Shout out to you, Rob. Glad to have you in the building, bro. Bulls at home. Let's go. Yeah. I mean, we got 1 game away with the Milwaukee Bucks. That's later on this week. And then we turn around and have, when is that game? That's Monday. Damn. We play tomorrow against the Bucks, and then we have 2 games at home against the Magic and 2 games at home against the Miami Heat before we then head out for a 4-game road trip, come back home for 2 games, and then our schedule's back at normal at that point. So Mr. X says, you looking like you're suiting up today. Hey, no, bro. I'm not suiting up. I ain't even gonna try to front on that one. I ain't suiting up. Nah. I'll punch some people though. We better win tonight. If we don't, then I wouldn't know what to say. The only thing I would be doing is throwing stuff across the room. Hey, bro, you and me. It is a reason why I don't do live calls, right? Zach, a premier scorer, he get his 1-versus-1 or coming off screens and such. Yeah, and we don't run enough catch and shoot opportunities for Zach LaVine. We just don't. We don't. I wish we ran more. Friday after next is actually 21 years old. Damn, that's crazy. Friday after next is 21 years old. That's wild. Is it wrong? I feel like I feel the bench plays better than the starters as of late outside of Kobe. Everything comes down to the big 3 continuing to be in that negative. Kobe has been vocal on the floor lately. Listen, I'll say that here's what I'll say. the bench players are players that all understand their role and they very well thrive in it, right? And they are excel at things like when you look at Drum, you know what Drum's going to bring. He's going to bring rebounding. He's going to bring some putbacks. He's going to do some head scratching things, right? You know what Javon Carter is, a consistent defender. That shots falling for him a lot more. I think the last 5 games in a row, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, he's scored in double digits. He's really starting to find his rhythm with that bench unit. So that's good. We already know Alex Caruso is a dog, right? We know that. And then Io's really been rounding out as well nicely for himself as well. So things are going in the right direction for that bench unit. I definitely like that bench unit and what they know how to bring. Vooch don't protect the hoop enough, like Sabonis don't. True, but like I always say, there's 2 forms of rim protection, right? There's the shot blocking rim protection, and then there's the rim protection where you just play good enough defense, teams can't get to the rim. One thing that we excelled at last year is we played good enough defense that teams really weren't getting to the rim consistently. So, yeah, Vooch isn't the stereotypical like prototype shot blocking rim protecting big, but he does a lot of other good things too. So we'll see. Heard you talking about the specialty lineups on the Windy City edition today. Has Billy Donovan ever played a true specialty lineup? Honestly, don't recall seeing it. Yes. Small ball is a specialty lineup, right? And then we also ran a lineup when we had Lonzo. It was a lineup that worked. I didn't expect it to work. Keep in mind, we had Tony Bradley as the backup center, but at that time, Derrick Jones Jr. was basically our backup center. And that specialty lineup was Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan usually. I can't remember who played the 2 at that point in time, but then you also had Derrick Jones Jr. at the 5, and then the 4 will fluctuate sometimes with Javonte Green. But the thing about that lineup that made it so special is that the pick and roll between Derrick Jones Jr. and Lonzo Ball became an absolute weapon. Like Lonzo understood how to create separation, slow down enough on that pick and roll to draw out the defender, and then he would always hit it over the top for Derrick Jones Jr. So, yeah, Billy Donovan has used specialty lineups. Has he gone to him? Faithfully, no, but some could say that our whole team is a specialty lineup because of how small we've played consistently too. So there's that. Haize, that Windy City Bulls video was dope. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Trying to just make sure I'm bringing everything. I always said, right, and Jet, you've been here since the beginning. You know I've always said this, is that I want Chicago Bulls Central to be the one-stop shop for Chicago Bulls fans. I want them to be able to feel like they come to Chicago Bulls Central and they can get everything they want on the Bulls. They can get analysis, they get post-game shows, pre-game shows, halftime hangouts, live streams, breakdown, guests. And now we're adding the G League to that. Like I said, a lot of people won't watch those videos, and that's fine. But I think that for the ones that are interested in it, not a lot of people are out there doing it like that. So that definitely plays a part in it. Sam says, I hope we don't get dropped off by the Pistons again. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Hey, the last couple of years, our Bulls tend to play down to the level of competition. Hopefully that ain't the case tonight. I mean, yeah, because the Bulls have earned no right to play down to anybody, right? They haven't earned that. So let's hope that that's not the case. Hakeem would try to block every shot or at least alter it if he jumped or at all shots in the paint. Yeah, but Kareem Vooch is not. I don't think anybody's looking at Vooch and saying you should be able to do what Kareem did. Vincent says, I just got off work. Can't wait for this game. I wish I can say easy win, but it's going to be a close game. We may go to overtime when they know we have a very tough game tomorrow. We'll see, man. We'll see. Like I said, the Pistons are missing a lot of players tonight, so let's hope. Don't be surprised if that rookie Azure Thompson kills us. Don't sleep. Dude is a beast on the defensive end, and I can see him giving whoever he is guarding fits. What he did in the last game. Like, Thompson in the last game, when he did not want Zach LaVine to score, Zach didn't score. It just is what it is. So we'll see. We'll see. He says, sup, hey, that's some bright white attire. Listen, it's clean. I'm clean as a motherfucker. Like, it is what it is. Let's see. Hey, are you going to get a new thumbnail graphic for the Windy City Bulls videos? I mean, our thumbnail template is fire. Why would I change perfection, right? And keep in mind, the Chicago Bulls Central logo is a custom. It's not like I use the actual Chicago Bulls logo anymore. So I thought about doing a different, like using the Windy City Bulls logo actually, but I feel like, hey, we cover everything. So, but that doesn't mean I won't change it. So we'll see. Hey man, serious question. What does it cost to sponsor one of your videos? I just got an EIN and I'm interested in spreading some letters. Be your way for a second in the spotlight. Ease. Stop acting like you don't have direct access to me, bro. You ain't got to ask this in a public forum. Well, me and you holler, bro. We'll see what we'll wrap. I'll see what I can do. Let's talk Bulls. Haize out here with the all white. I mean, listen, ain't too many people doing it like me, bro. Ain't too many people doing it like me. If Jalen Duren was playing tonight, we would get violated, bro. He a grown ass man for real. They had that looking like Orlando Shaq last game. That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, you definitely make me want to get some Bulls drip pronto. Listen, I'm telling y'all got to get it, man. Y'all got to get it. 111 people in here and only 5 likes. Come on, I think we got more than 5 likes. Sometimes it doesn't always update on y'all. And let me see how many likes we got. We got 19 likes and 156. Y'all need to listen. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. Let's see what we got here from Quentin. Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls says, I'm calling it now. Javon Carter will have 3 threes this game. Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, brother. From your mouth to God's ears. Why don't Bulls go Caruso, Carter, Levine, DeRozan, Vooch as a starting lineup? Bro, like we hate small. Why would you want to start DeMar DeRozan at the 4? Are you mean for like some lineups? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised we see that sometimes, but that's not going to be the starting lineup. Like, come on, man. I got an in-game 9-player prop bet on all Bulls players and Killian Haize not hitting 2 threes. Also, if she doesn't know what Blockbuster is, she's not old enough. Wow. Wait, where did the Blockbuster thing come from? How did we get there? Well, when you actually think, here we go, Shay, think about it. Well, when you think, oh, you motherfucker, like Shay literally cusses like a 13-year-old who's away from their parents for the time. You're like, yeah, Nikola Vucevic is gonna get 20 and 13. And I told you motherfuckers that it's like Shay, calm down, bro. That didn't even need that much emphasis, Samuel L. Jackson. Like, but anyway, well, when you actually think about it, the majority of everybody on the bench is a veteran player, even Patrick Williams, to a certain extent, so I'm not surprised. Yeah. Definitely feels that's definitely a great point there, Shay. Archangel in the building says, I meant like in crunch time when we need a defensive lineup or shooting lineup. Billy just leaves the same 5 guys in moments when we could really use a specialty lineup. Well, I mean, no, I mean, we've seen some of that, right? Like in the crunch time in that 1 overtime game, we saw for a couple of minutes out there, Vooch and Andre Drummond out there together. It's just we have a very limited roster as is. So I don't know how much specialty we can really pull out of. I will say this. I was super surprised to find out that Javon Carter, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Torrey Craig, and Nikola Vucevic, those 5 players have not played a single minute all together at the same time. That's crazy to me. I still can't believe there were Bulls fans that were pulling for Bulls to trade for James Harden. Not Houston Rockets James Harden, but this James Harden. 0-4 since James Harden Clippers trade. James Harden ain't that guy. Like, he's just not. He'll put up some big numbers from time to time, but he's not that guy. Like, he's just not. MC season in the building. What's good, Haize? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing mostly okay, bro. You already know. Robert, 199 Super Chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, my brother. I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate the G League stuff. I will be watching from Scott. Thank you, Scott. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Can we talk about Drummond's on-ball defense? I think he's had one steal like that each game. Let's go. Listen, Drum is a good, solid on-ball defender, and he's a solid pick-and-roll defender, too. The thing with Drum is sometimes he gambles too much, and those gambles, especially when you're out there with some players that aren't the best in pick-and-roll, they don't work out. One thing that I have always said since we got Andre Drummond is I would have loved to see Drummond play here while Alonzo Ball was healthy, because that could have been a specialty lineup for sure. Brendan L. Jet says, Haize, I was subscriber number 7 on this channel. You've grown in your analysis and production. Thank you again for wishing the vets a happy Veterans Day. Well, thank you, brother. And look, you know, my dad's a veteran. So both my parents served in the military. So that's important to me. So always going to shout out the veterans on their day. Haize, don't forget you defer a free agent coverage. You got me hooked all year long. I mean, yeah, listen, I definitely like during the offseason, I can honestly say, and this isn't a slight to anybody, you can talk positively about yourself without slighting anybody else. This is not a slight to any other channel, any other creator, but there is nobody who does free agent coverage like I do. Period. Like, there's nobody. I will plant my flag in that wholeheartedly and tell somebody if they want to challenge the king, you can come, but you best not miss if you come for the king. Because I tell you what, there's nobody who does free agent coverage better than me. Up to the minute, there was a time I got a video out before freaking ESPN got a video out about free agent stuff. So like nobody in the offseason, nobody does free agent coverage for the Bulls like me. And I was dropping 2 and 3 videos a day, right? I was dropping videos during free agency. I feel like I got in a good rhythm. Like I would drop a video on whatever free agent the Bulls were rumored to have talked to, interviewed with. And then at night, I would drop a more like insightful, speculative video like, hey, these are the free agents left. This is how they could potentially fit in with what the Bulls have. Not that it wasn't too many people doing free agent coverage like me. It wasn't, man. But I appreciate you guys for supporting me through that. Haize, do you think Zach will demand a trade this season? I don't get that feeling. I think as much as people talk about Zach, I think that Zach has a very level-headed head when it comes to understanding the business of basketball. And I look at Zach LaVine and I say that that's probably a guy that I truly think Zach knows that this team is flawed and he's going to give it. He understands how the Lonzo Ball contract is really limiting this team right now. And he's going to wait and see what the next wave of the Chicago Bulls team is. Now, if the Bulls go rebuild, then that they may make that decision for him. But I think that we have another year. And I said this in the offseason. I think we get through this season and all of next season before we really have to worry about Zach LaVine requesting a trade. Now, if we haven't improved by the end of next season, then I think it may happen. I definitely think it may happen. Haize, is it me or has Torrey Craig's early effectiveness seem to have dropped off? 0 points and 3 points from him in the last 2 games. If he's starting, we need more for him. No, because his role isn't scoring. And so his defense has stayed true, right? Absolutely. I think the last stat that I saw, this is off the top of my head, you guys can go and look for yourself on Crafted NBA about this. Is one of the places I get my advanced analytics. But I think Torrey Craig has generated himself 3 more possessions for the Chicago Bulls a game. So that's not something light. 3 possessions isn't a light. That's potentially 9 or more points at its high, right? So no, Torrey Craig's defense has been on. The plus minus with him on and off the court has still been good. He's not scoring well. He's not shooting the ball well. But keep in mind, he's the 5th option. Much like we said with P. Will, Torrey Craig is the 5th option on offense. He's not going to score a lot. And that's not the role. That's not what Torrey Craig doesn't get a single play drawn up for him. Now, the open shots, I wanted to see him hit those open threes and middies way better than what he has been. But no, Torrey Craig has still been highly effective. He just hasn't been scoring well. Sup, Haize, I heard that AC and P. Will are game time decisions. If so, I would want to see more minutes from Carter and possibly see Phillips. Listen, you're not. I'll tell you right now, you're not going to see Julian Phillips. If P. Will is out, you probably are likely to see more of Terry Taylor than what you are to see from Julian Phillips. I hate to say that because I would love to see Julian Phillips too. I just don't think it's likely with Billy Donovan. Bubblegum Billy. There is Bulls bad and then there's Clippers bad. Yeah, Clippers are different. Can we please say it and just call James Harden a cancer because the Los Angeles Clippers are now 0-4 since listen, the beard brings cancer. That's what it is. I'm sick of reading articles about people saying blow up this team. We just went through a rebuild. I don't have the energy for another one. I'm going to just hope that this team figures this thing out. Hey, James, I feel you, bro. And I think there are a lot of vocal community that wants to see the Bulls blow it all up. I think there are a lot of Bulls fans, myself included, that don't necessarily want to see that. My light was tilting. It's dangerous when a 6.5 foot light is starting to wave and you're just like, is this gonna fall on my fucking head on live TV? That would have been ugly. And for those that don't know, like I do film, like I've done short films, things like that. I'm a photographer, so I have legit gear in this motherfucker. And this shit be like, if it falls over, it's like this, like my key light, like that's how it looks without the key light. That's one light that basically lights up everything. That light is like a $400 light. That motherfucker goes hard. And then this motherfucker over here is a $150 light. It's a much smaller light. It's a Wi-Fi connected light. But these motherfuckers fall on me, you will see me go to the hospital live on air. That's what you will see. Let's see. How do you get your whites white, though, and not fade the red? That's laundry with craft. No, it's not. You just, listen. Here's the hint. This is the secret. For anybody who has whites or clothes that's mostly white but has color, just use color safe bleach. Color safe bleach just means that it won't fade colors. It still works the same for whites as regular bleach too. So that's all you got to do. Then your colors won't bleed. You good. There you go. Sorry I called your other hat cocaine white. I didn't want to. Oh, bro, no, I was just joking with you, bro. It's not really not a big deal, bro. I was just messing with you. I really like Thompson's game. That's just there's just some dudes that make defense look amazing. Alex Caruso and Asur. I always say his name wrong. Thompson are perfect examples. Yeah, facts. 100% agree with you on that one. I'm with you on that, Haize. The Bulls haven't earned the right for anyone to say that they play down to any level of competition because at this point, they're not that much better than anyone. Completely agree with you on that one. What's good, Haize? Let's hope we play with the dog mentality and offensive consistency. To secure a win tonight. Myrtle Beast, I definitely am with you on that one, bro. I just wish we could have seen a Lonzo, Javante Green, Caruso, Craig, Drummond lineup. Oh, you trying to go all defense. That's all defense, and that's transition. That transition game, if that lineup you just mentioned gets a steal and gets out in the open court, the other team might as well not even worry about it. Might as well not even worry about it. Haize, when I found your channel, I was just getting out of a toxic Chicago Bulls group on Facebook. What was the group? I'm in a lot of Chicago Bulls groups on Facebook, but I kind of hop in and out of them, so it is what it is. DD in the building says, Haize, one of the best to do it. Keep me entertained all offseason. Didn't even miss a beat with the videos. I appreciate that. Like, I really do. Like, I know that's like, I don't say that stuff lightly. Like, when the offseason goes, like, there are literally days where I'm like, I'm just not leaving the studio today. Like, I'm just not. I'm just going to stay in the studio and eat my meals down here because, like, the offseason stuff comes real fast. And then it'd be like, God damn. Like, and then I can't miss anything, right? Because of now I've set a standard of being the go-to place. Like once you get a video out before Woj tweets something, people start looking at you different, right? Like it's crazy. And then now, and I will say this, like this isn't even to brag or anything, but now that I do have small sources inside the Chicago Bulls, and that just came about probably in the last like 45 days. So that was after free agency. This upcoming offseason, best believe, do not be surprised if you see a video from Haize that says the Chicago Bulls are finalizing a deal with XYZ, and they be like, hey, man, ain't nobody else got this shit. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Do you see how Zach was talking about playing with LeBron in LA, bro? Want to be there so bad? No, that was literally 3 years ago that clip came from. 3 years ago that clip came about. If Zach LaVine wanted to play in LA, guess what? He would have went to LA. It's not like they wouldn't have signed him. Zach LaVine's here in Chicago, man. Haize, I appreciate that fresh Bulls merch you rock in your videos, but we got to stop giving Ryan Zorf money, Tilly. You know what? Actually, something I found out, the Bulls actually, per the licensing deal, make a very small proportion of merch sales depending on where you get it from. So like the NBA store, if you go to bullshop.com, they get most of that. But places like this is pro standard. Per their licensing agreement, a big portion of it actually goes to the NBA, smaller portion of it goes to the team, and then pro standard gets to keep a big portion of it. So you'll be surprised with how much of the merch sales actually goes to the creator and distributor of the merch. You'd be surprised with that. Where do you get the drip from? So it's 5 main places I get it. So hats are usually always from Lids or New Era. That's mainly where I get my hats from. I have a couple of hats from like 47, things like that, but mainly those 2 places. So New Era, Lids, Fanatics is where I order a lot of stuff at. Pro Standard is where I get a lot of stuff at, and Culture Kings. Those are the main 5 places I get my stuff from. So if you see something from me, there's a high probability it came from one of those 5 places first. I know the Pistons are missing a few players. I would not take this team lightly. Come out early, put a foot on their neck. Absolutely, right? It would be nice to see this Bulls team put a foot on the team's neck, right? And then just let it ride out. Like finish it early. Let's see some of Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips in the fourth quarter because the lead's so big, right? Scott says, at this point, Patrick Williams can get judged game by game, but Torrey Craig needs to be judged in larger pieces of time. He has the ability to figure out and adjust for his role and will do so. Definitely agree with you on that one. It's pronounced Asar. Gotcha. The you be throwing me off, man. I'm not gonna. You know what else throws me off in names? People, stop putting apostrophes in your kids' names. Please stop. That is the ghettoest shit in the world. Stop putting apostrophes in your kids' names. Y'all got to stop that. All right, starting lineup came out. Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Torrey Craig, and Nikola Vucevic. Same starting five. No changes there. So there you guys go on that one. Why do you think we shouldn't blow it up? Here's what I'll say, right? So I'm in favor of a heavy retooling, meaning changing one to two of the big three, of the core three. I think that is more likely. And I think that you do have pieces. What I more want to see is a different coach, because I think a different coach would help along some of the development a little bit more than what we've seen as well. But so that's why, like I said before, blowing it all up, all that really does is remove fans' expectations. It really doesn't usually do anything. And blowing it all up, you could literally be there. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers for a while, right? Look at how many first round picks they went through, right? We're talking about the Jahlil Okafers of the world, right? The Markelle Fultz of the world, the Michael Carter Williams of the world, right? And this is just, I'm missing some Nerlens Noels of the world, right? It took them to go through that, and they still haven't accomplished much of shit. So they've won a lot more games than the Bulls over the handful of years, but I think just blowing it all up the main thing it does is remove expectations. If this Bulls team is as bad, and this is the thing I'm going to say, if it's as bad as some Bulls fans say that it is, we're going to have a lottery pick the next 5 years anyway, right? If it's as bad as that. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. But hey, I could be wrong on that one. Haize, do you think there's a chance? I think it is a chance Acme don't get rid of the big three, but add with the exception. Well, here's the thing. The adding with the exception would mean going into the luxury tax. And remember, AK came into this and said, before we go into the luxury tax, we have to make sure this is the group of guys that's worth going to the luxury tax. At being 3 games below 500, that's not the team that's probably going to go into the luxury tax. So I do think that they can use the exception, but for them to use the exception would also mean trading somebody out. So, for example, I'm not saying that this is a deal I want. I'm just using this deal because it's one that's recently been rumored and it's on the top of my head, right? So let's say the Bulls do trade Alex Caruso for Jalen Hood-Schifino and they get a bunch of seconds back, right? Because then you would be creating space, because Jalen Hood-Schifino's a first-round pick. I think his contract's like $2.5 million. At that point in time, that now you're even further below the luxury tax. So then the Bulls could say, hey, by the way, we're now going to try to absorb a contract into this disabled player exception that we have, and we're probably going to move the 2 second-round picks that we got for the Lakers so we can send something out and absorb some money. I'm just throwing that out as a possibility. I'm not saying that's likely or I want that deal to happen. That's the way I could see the Bulls possibly using the disabled player exception. What's up, Haize? How you feel about Joe Harris, James Wiseman, Jaden Ivey, and the 2026 first rounders, the Pistons for Zach? This comes based off how Ivey seems to be the odd man out. Listen, Jaden Ivey, I know, has put up some big stats, and some of that's been against us too. To me, I don't know if that's enough. I'm not in on Wiseman. I'm not in on Harris. So Harris, Ivy in the 2026 first is what you're looking at there as being the main things. And I don't even know at that point, man. Haize, thanks for a good answer on Craig. What do you think about P. Will being so much better off the bench? Is he just better with the second unit or less pressure on him off the bench? I think it's a combination of some things. I think that maybe P. Will may also be motivated because he got moved to the bench. I do think that also, when you're coming off the bench, you're playing against different players. So I think that helps. But I also think that the mix-up of that roster, when you look at on the bench, it's also set up for Patrick Williams to get more shots and get in rhythm, right? And you have tons of passers on that bench. Caruso, Javon Carter, Ayo Dosunmu, all solid passers coming off that bench unit. So he's on there with less ball-dominant players that are more likely to move the ball around. And I think that he's been playing more aggressive. Not hugely more aggressive, but more aggressive. So I think those things play a part into it. The Hoodie Crazy, bro. Thank you, in Perfect Kingdom. I appreciate you, bro. Your draft coverage is awesome as well. You know my motto: Scott them from the womb to the tomb. Hey, I will say this: like, my draft coverage has got. I've impressed myself with my draft coverage because it's forced me to watch more college basketball, but then it's also forced me to like break down actual tape instead. I think the first year of this podcast, the very first year, that would have been the year that we drafted Dalen Terry, would have been that year. I more so looked at highlights, right, of players that I was going. And I went through, I covered 33 draft prospects that year, didn't cover draft Dalen Terry. But this past offseason and draft actually broke down tape, which is different than watching highlights. And I feel like it brought something different out of me too. And it took me to a level that I didn't think that I had in me. So definitely. And that's part of this creative thing. Like, I feel like any creator that thinks that they have it all figured out is bound to fail at some point. Me, the thing that helps me a lot is that I'm always striving to get better. I'm always, even the things that I do really good now, I still look at, all right, how can I improve this? And I hope that comes through in the content as well. OTR says, honestly, big problem with our team is coaching. Our team defense is awful, and off-ball movement is non-existent. Listen, the off-ball movement is something that literally grinds the hell out of my gears, bro. It kills me, man. Haize, would you consider the front office moving Billy Donovan into the front office like Detroit did with Dwayne Casey? I mean, here's the thing. Let's say Mark Eversley left to become the president of another team, and they said, all right, bet we're going to move Billy Donovan up. We're going to find a new coach. I wouldn't hate that. And that's not to say that I want Billy Donovan to be this. I think Billy Donovan would be this amazing GM. But if that moved Billy Donovan out of the coaching position, I'm all for it. What do you think about the Bulls signing Danny Green for three-point shooting? I know we have a lot of guards still. He can't be used in situational and in spurts. Here's my thing. Danny Green is not better than anybody we already have at the guard position. So, no. I'd much rather see those minutes go on the wing to like a Julian Phillips so he can develop before bringing in the Danny Green. Does it bring the three-point shooting? No. But I'd rather it be that than anything else. Imperfect Kingdom says, got some new merch coming out. I appreciate you, brother. Definitely got your text. Did you get my text back? At least I think I text you back. Sometimes I start doing shit, but I appreciate you, brother. LOL, even if they got big profits from Bulls drip, it wouldn't really affect the Reinsdorf anyway if we stop buying it. Yeah, that's a big point in it as well. Tay Holland says, I think the Bulls can still and will turn this season around. They definitely not out the question. Yeah, it's not out the question. It's not. 8 games into the season, 9 games into the season is not out of question, but let's hope that that's the case. BL Jet says, Haize got some drip from Off-White. Don't let him bro, Off-White shit is well out of my price point, bro. I'm not even gonna lie on you, man. You forgot oh no, I definitely get stuff for Imperfect Kingdom as well. Like, y'all, Imperfect Kingdom got some shit, and I don't mean to say that like Pat Bev and Billy Donovan. They like, I love the tees. Like, the tees that I have from Imperfect Kingdom are some of the most comfortable tees I own for sure. Ooh, this is a great question from Cannon. What percentage chance do you have on Lonzo playing for Chicago again? Bro, 10? I put it at 10%. 10. I'll never forget when Ivy called that timeout with none left against us. Like, yeah, that's crazy. We should not trade for the Lakers. Only player I want on that team is Roy or Chris Wood. Listen, keep Christian Wood off the team. And they want us to run our pockets for D'Lo. Listen, I don't think they'd run our pockets for D'Lo because, like, I don't think the Bulls really be interested in that. Steve O Speak says, I wish we could draft a coach. That is hilarious. That's funny. This isn't Bulls related, but do you think the Clippers are starting to realize that James Harden trade may be a mistake? Hey, that's crazy if they're already thinking that. So Kenny B says, bro, I feel like Billy could have some nice lineups, nice ass lineups if he was. Yeah, like I said, the fact that they haven't played a single minute of Javon Carter, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Torrey Craig, and Nikola Vucevic. The fact that those 5 players haven't played a single minute all together is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Big Kevin. Oh no, I don't know who this is from NBA Central. Says we owe this dusty team. Let's get this dub, Bulls. Hey, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Chris Carvino says, the Kelly Oubre news is what? Yeah, that was crazy. To hear an NBA player got hit in a hit and run, that's crazy. Like at first when I initially saw it, like I think I scrolled through it earlier this morning and I thought like somebody hit his car. And then it took me to go back to it later on and realize, oh no, he got hit with a car and he wasn't in a car. That's crazy. That's crazy. Prayers out to him on a speedy recovery, man. It's pretty crazy because you definitely need Carter and Craig to make up for the defensive liability of the mid three. Yeah, that's definitely something there as well. It's big. What the hell are you doing logged into the NBA Central channel, bro? We got to revoke your members. No, I'm just playing with you. Shout out to you, Big Kev. You know I love you, brother. It's so funny. Like, here's one thing that I will say, and maybe this is too much of a gushy moment or whatever, but like the fact that me, Kev, Bobby, C-Dub, and Steve all came together and we legitimately all have much love for each other is wild. I don't like people. Like, I really don't like people. So the fact that four motherfuckers that I met off the internet are like people that I talk to every single day now is wild, bro. That shit crazy. Shit crazy, man. If we still had Jimmy and Laurie in their current form alongside Vooch, Zach, and DeMar, what do you think this team would look like? Well, first of all, we traded Jimmy to get Zach and Laurie, so that's never going to happen. But I don't think you need DeMar on that team. I think Jimmy with Laurie and Zach, and even Vooch would be a nice lineup. Definitely nice. Speaking of nice, nice says I don't like people. Like I really genuinely hate people. Like I really hate people. Like I'm such an antisocial bastard. It's ridiculous, bro. Like it's crazy. Did you see the tweet before the hit and run? A dude was mad about his parlay and said, I hope you get hit by a car. And then like a few days later, the hit and run happened. I hope that dude feels like shit, man. That's crazy. That's wild. Hey, you're not the only one that doesn't like people. I'm more of a guy that doesn't trust anybody, especially nowadays living in Chicago. Hey, listen. Keep that thing on you, Shay. Keep that thing on you, bro. Steve-O stopped the cat. They're talking about some who said he likes us. Like, Steve-O know he our little brother. The funny thing is, too, is like legit, I know that Big Kev, I could call Big Kev today and be like, Kev, I need you in town in 2 weeks. And if he could do it, he could do it. If he can't do it, he's not going to do it. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's like I've legitimately met people that I look at as brothers now in this. Like, it's wild, bro. Like, it's crazy. I'm playing. We all know you playing, you goofy ass motherfucker. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, man. I'm gonna get ready to get this game in. I gotta eat my wings without getting white on the with anything on the white. That's why I got a red t-shirt underneath it because I'm gonna take this motherfucker off for a minute. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to another live stream, man. Make sure you guys also go over to Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. They'll be having a live call. I'm sure they probably will more than anything. So make sure you guys go over there for a live call. I'll be back at halftime and with the post game show. Like we like to end everything on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red. Peace, y'all.